Coming up, the Louisville football team keeps another top recruit from the city at home to play for the Cardinals. Victor Anderson will stop by WLKY to talk with us about his decision.
Live with your latest scores and highlights, WLKY News Channel 32's Sports Sunday starts right now.
Of all places, on the golf course. Amazing. Good evening. I'm Keith Farmer, and yes, we do have plenty of basketball to take a look at coming up later on. But first, a big announcement today has us starting with football. You know, he was on again and off again with the Louisville Cardinals a couple of times. It didn't appear that St. X running back Victor Anderson would stay home for his college football, but in the end, he's finally made the choice to play for the Louisville Cardinals. Anderson originally committed to play for Big East rival West Virginia, but he reopened his recruiting during the football season, and it came down to 3 programs: WVU, U of L, and UK. Anderson is the St. X all-time leader in rushing with just over 4,000 yards and leading scorer with 75 touchdowns. Anderson backed away from Louisville with the Bobby Petrino staff, but when new coach Steve Kragthorpe arrived, Anderson felt comfortable with him and his decision to be a Cardinal. And Anderson will be able to sign his name on the dotted line on that national letter of intent on February 7th when they have the spring signing period, the first day that is. Now, joining me here on Sports Sunday is the man himself, Victor Anderson.
Hey.
Thanks for stopping by.
No
Congratulations.
Problem, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You must feel like you got a weight lifted off your shoulder at this point.
A big time. I was tired of getting calls at 11 o'clock at night from reporters, and it just feels good to know that I could stay home and play ball just as good as if I would have went to West Virginia. I think the program here is just like the program there, and the new coaching staff there they're interactive with the players, not saying anything bad about Coach Petrino, but I think Coach Kragthorpe and I get along pretty well.
Talk about your recruitment a little bit, because it was back and forth. It was like at one point you're going to, you're thinking about, well, actually from the start you said West Virginia. Then you think, man, maybe Louisville. Then back to, well, it's open. Now you're back with Louisville. Just talk about that process of how you were thinking back and forth through the many options.
It's a tough process, and it gets stressful at times. And at first it was pretty fun, and then when it gets close to signing day, it's pretty rough. I changed my mind pretty much every day, and I just had to sleep on it and make a gut decision, and I think I made a pretty good decision.
With that back and forth, it seemed like some of the Louisville fans at one point when you were going West Virginia's way were like, all right, let him go, that's all right, he couldn't play for us anyway. So now you're coming back, they're kind of apologizing. They're saying, yeah, we're glad to have him back.
Right, there's people like that all over, and as an athlete, you can't let that get to you. You just got to go play no matter what the fans say, because they're not out there playing the game. They can't win the game. They can help you by yelling and screaming, but they can't win the game. You got to go out and play yourself. So I really don't worry about the fans, but it's good to know that they're behind you when they're behind you, but when they're not behind you, it's tough.
Talk about the new coaching staff a little bit. You have had the chance a couple of times, 2 or 3 times this week, to meet with Coach Kragthorpe. What's your first impression of the coaching staff?
Coach Kragthorpe is a great guy. He's very interactive with the player. I think he's a coach's player, and a player's coach, I should say. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. He talks to the guys, and he comes to basketball games, and I think that's a big part in a lot of athletes' life, is to have the coach interact with them, and I think that's a great thing. And Coach Rodriguez was like that as well, but I mean, why go away when you have the same thing here? So I just think that it's a great decision that I made.
Now, one of the key things with you, I know, going through this process is you said, I want to be a running back. I don't want to switch to defense. I don't want to be playing here or there. I want to be a running back. It sounds like that's going to happen for you.
Yes, sir. I want to be a running back, and Coach Kragthorpe and the staff said that that's possible, because size is not really a big matter in this thing. It's a matter of the size of the heart, and I take that into consideration, because when my grandma passed away, she told me to do what's best for me and what I thought I could do, and I think I could be a running back, and I'm willing to show that next year.
Talk a little bit about your St. X career, because that's what got you to where you're going now. I mean, you're the leading rusher, the leading scorer in school history. That says a lot for a program that's done so much.
Oh, yes, sir. When I was in grade school, I played on the defensive side and wide receiver. I wasn't the best of players. I was a big baseball star. But when I moved into high school, I switched positions to running back, and it started to work out well for me in my freshman year. And then sophomore year, I got the chance to help out the varsity team win a state championship, and I just went on from there. And Coach Glazier did a really good job teaching me the things, and Coach Wagner teaching me the basics to be a running back, and I just worked hard day in and day out to succeed.
And when you get into U of L, you're talking about a couple of guys who are back, and Anthony Allen, he's a freshman. George Stripling, going to be a tough running back. You got some other guys that are going to be thrown into the mix with, like a Del Martin, that's a freshman that's coming in with you. Have you talked redshirt already? Have you are you wanting to get out there and play next year?
I have not talked redshirt already, but it's competition, and I know that. It's now that I'm in college, going to college, everybody's got the same type of caliber as an athlete. They're all fast, they're all big, and they're all competitive, and I think that that's a great thing for me because I love to be competitive, and I just hope to go out there to compete, and whether the best works out, then it's what
Is it exciting for you going in with somebody like Del Martin, who, you know, you're both highly rated coming out of high school?
Yeah, it's exciting, and I'm sure he's a competitive also. And I talked to Doug a lot, and he helped me make my decision a little bit. We talked back and forth on the cell phones, and he said to me, hopefully we can be a Michael Bush and Brian Brom. And I said, you know what, that sounds good, because, I mean, I was tired of playing against him because he was a hell of a defensive player. So I said, you know what, we should play on the same team and see if we can get something done.
And what better way to end it right there? That is awesome. Douglas Beaumont and Victor Anderson, both from right here in Louisville, headed to the University of Louisville. Congratulations on your decision, and we'll be following you for the next 4 years.
Oh, thank you.
All right.